Hi guys, Abby and Margot here. I'm here with Amy Ridgel from Hellow Honey Flower Co. She recently started a flower company
in February.
So it's pretty new, but she is amazing. And I wanted to bring her in today just to give you guys some tips on how to take flowers that you might find at the grocery store and turn it into a beautiful arrangement that looks like a florist did it. So take it away.
All right, I'm sharing my inside scoop on how to take grocery store bought flowers and make them look elevated and professional. So as you can see, I have kind of a wide variety of things. So we start with our focal flower over here, which is peonies, everyone's favorite flower. They're just huge and fluffy and plumy. They make a great focal flower. Most of the time you really only need one focal flower if you have kind of a smaller vessel like we have here. You can really use anything from a vase to a cup. And you want to start by prepping your vase. This will help you create kind of a more dynamic arrangement. So we'll start with taping the top in a grid. So I kind of made a bit of a hashtag, if you will, with the top, and we'll zoom in here a little bit later so you can see that process. But you can use any tape that you have around the house, but I prefer either double-sided tape, extra sticky tape, and this is actually floral tape. You can get this at Michael's. I bought it in the flower district in LA, so.
Continue.
Okay. Wow, we've got puppies up in here, we've got babies, we've got flowers.
It's a zoo.
What more could you want? So here I'm just kind of pulling off every leaf that would be below the vase line. Because if you actually put, a lot of people don't know this, but if you put greenery or flowers with extra leaves below the water line, it can actually pollute your water and kill the flowers faster.
Did you just buy these greens, just a bundle of greenery, or where did you?
You know what? I actually foraged for them.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
So you can buy greens. Yeah, you can buy them. But I find that I like a bit of a more natural look to it. So that's why I forage for my greens. Unless I have, you know, a really big gig and I need to do like multiple arrangements. Okay, so as you can see, I've got kind of a good base. I'm doing kind of like a Y arrangement, and I want it to go out to the side, and then I usually have a high point and a low point. So as you go, you can adjust and kind of move things around. I'm gonna start by taking a focal flower here, and I'm gonna put it right kind of smack dab in the middle, but I am gonna give it a little bit of elevation so it stands out nice and pretty. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm using the vase to measure how long I need my stems to be. And I like to keep it a little bit longer than I think, because it's always better to trim down rather than to make it too short, and then you're kind of like, okay, I can't use that flower again.
And I also noticed that you're putting these in at an angle.
Yeah, I'm putting them in at an angle, and the reason for that is because the stems kind of create a little cradle for each other. So they support each other, and it's easier, even though you do have the tape for reinforcement, it's really nice to kind of create a little bit of a zigzag with the stems, because then they hold themselves up. And
yeah,
that's really great.
They look like this in there, kind of.
I'm using some spray roses here. Those are really good fillers. I used to not be a fan of roses, and now I actually really love roses. So if there's a flower that you don't love, I recommend kind of playing around with it and seeing how you like it in arrangements, and maybe you'll change your tune.
Do you have a favorite flower that's inexpensive and pretty easy to find that you like to arrange with? Yeah, so a good filler flower, actually, that you mention it, I'm working with it right now, it's called Stock. It's in season kind of all the time, and it's really good. It's nice and fluffy. I love this flower because it comes in multiple different colors. It just really adds to an arrangement. It can kind of bring it to the next level by elevating it. So it has a bit of height to it. It's really great, and you can get a bunch for like $3 when it's really in season, which is super cheap. I am currently realizing that Margot is stuffing crackers down the air conditioning vent.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to quickly take care of that. one fun thing if you want to stretch yourself in your floral learning, as I'm driving, my husband makes fun of me because I'm a bit of a distracted driver, because if I see any pretty flowers, I will pull over and get them. I usually have a pair of snips with me at all times. So when I say snips, I just mean a really nice pair of shears that you can also buy at Michael's or Home Depot. But be really careful when you use them because they're sharper than you think. Another thing to look out for when you're foraging for your flowers is spiders. I learned that the hard way.
Do you have any basic tips for when you're buying your flowers at the grocery store, what to look for and what to stay away from?
Yeah, so kind of a rule of thumb you want to take note of is the health of the leaves. So I've actually pruned all of these down so you can't really see the leaves, but when you pick up a bagged thing of flowers at the grocery store, make sure that the leaves aren't yellowing, because if they're yellowing, that probably means the flowers are on their way out.
Do you know why they cut them at an angle? I've always known to, but I don't know why.
Yeah, it actually helps absorb the water more. So another thing is if you have a really, really hardy stem, you can kind of give it a few little notches at the end. And it helps it absorb water. So that'll help keep your flowers alive for longer, which is a nice little trick. Something I like to do is just kind of add a bit of whimsy on the sides of my arrangements. So you can kind of create a bit of a wild structure here just by kind of bringing, I'm using tulips for this one. Those are really good flowers to use on the sides, and they just kind of grow out and have their own little personality. It's really fun.
And this is such a great idea to do on the lazy Susan.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it really helps, you know, when you're trying to arrange and you have all the different angles that you're trying to get. You don't have to pick it up and look around. I ordered this from Amazon. It was pretty cheap. So right now I kind of want to create a little bit more of a dome in the center because there's a few gaps in here. Also because I foraged these flowers right here, they're a little bit more droopy than say the store-bought ones, just because, you know, we never know how they're gonna hold up. So I haven't really worked with these flowers before. As I said, it's a bit of a mystery every time you forage for flowers. And my reason for adding things where I'm adding them, it does have to do with the eye. So where you feel like you look and you take a step back and there needs to be more blooms here or more greenery here, or maybe you take something out. As I said, it is kind of personal preference, and that just takes practice too. So the more you do it, the more you'll learn, okay, I like a bit more space, I like a bit more greens, or I like more compacted blooms. So it's up to you.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know that I feel a lot more comfortable arranging flowers on my own. This is one arrangement that I came up with just a few store-bought flowers, some flowers from my backyard, and some foraged greenery. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So to find out more about what Amy does, you can visit her website, hellowhoneyflowerco.com, and you can also see some more of her photos on her Instagram page at Hellow Honey Flower Co. Be sure to also check out my blog over at Hollardays.com for some more of Amy's tips and a few of my own on flower arranging, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!